There he is. We got Munz with us from the Manitoba capital. Good morning, Munz. How are you, my friend?
Great, Rod. How are you guys?
Good. We've got Rob Vanstone and Derek Myers here in the bunker. Vanstone, the only
Nice.
Jets fan as part of this conversation, so I know he'll have a lot of questions for you. But I've been watching the games, Munz. 2-2 on a pretty tough road trip to open the season, I would think, as the Jets and their fans pretty happy here as they get ready for the home opener.
Yeah, no question about it, Rod. To wrap up the road trip the way they did in Pittsburgh last night, and with the defense core that they had, Neil Pionk being their most veteran blue liner with just over 100 games under his belt, it was a challenging night going in mentally for the club and everybody around it. But boy, those young guys played well. And after Sidney Crosby scored 32 seconds into the game, kind of everybody looked at each other wondering what kind of a night it was going to be. But Connor Hellebuyck was brilliant in a 37-save performance after that, and three of the young defensemen were able to score some goals, and Nikolai Ehlers found the back of the net. So to go 2-2 on the tough road trip that it was through the New York City area was a pretty good way for them to start the season with all things considered.
These guys are going to have a lot of questions for you, and I only got one, and it's what everybody's talking about around here, because there are a lot of Jets fans here, Munz.
Status quo.
Okay. Where they're saying, the question is, why are we not hearing anything about Buff? Why has it gone silent?
Well, right now, he's deciding what he wants to do. And until he decides if he's going to play or not this year, that's kind of where the whole thing is at here right now. So the organization doesn't really have any update for us because they haven't got an update from Dustin Byfuglien. So that's why I said status quo, because as soon as somebody starts to bring it up around the organization, that's the very quick answer we get. So unless somebody is around a lake in southern Manitoba here that can track down Dustin Byfuglien and get an answer for us, that's kind of the way it's going to go, because he's probably fishing.
All right. RV, you go ahead with your Jets questions.
By the way, it's nice to chat with you, Brian. Good to see you.
Yeah, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Look forward to seeing you later.
Are you coming in tomorrow night?
I won't be, but I'll be seeing the Jets very shortly in beautiful Regina, which I never thought I would be saying. So,
yeah, we'll come to you for once. You come to us enough.
Isn't that new? So many times I've driven 5.5 hours to a Jets game, watched it, and then driven back. Now I got to go 7 minutes up the Louvain. This will be kind of cool. So,
perfect.
I'm not sure what to make of Connor Hellebuyck. Is he the Vezina Trophy candidate from 2 years ago, or is he what he was last season? And we've seen both sides so far this season, the 2 games he's played. I don't know what to make of it. Is it a coin flip with him?
You know what, Rob? I think when you look at it for Connor Hellebuyck, if we were having this conversation, and I had this conversation on our radio station yesterday afternoon leading into the game in Pittsburgh, that if we were talking in January or February or even March right now, I would be a lot more concerned. But because going into last night, he'd only played 1 regular season game, I'm not that concerned about where they sit right now. And then also throw in the fact that Laurent Brossoit, their backup goaltender, has had the terrific preseason that he's had, and the 2 games that he had to start the regular season. All the pressure isn't there right now on Connor Hellebuyck to be that Vezina Trophy finalist like he was 2 years ago this early in the year. Now, I will say, and I know you watched the game last night from Pittsburgh, he was tremendous. Like, he was, if not the one of the top, I would say, 2 or 3 players on the ice for the Winnipeg Jets in last night's game. So I think it was a nice confidence builder for everybody around the organization to see Connor have the night that he did last night, and to close the door with 37 straight saves was a big bonus for him coming into the home opener here tomorrow night.
Coming into that home opener, what is the feeling in this? I mean, you've been gone for a little bit now, but do you think the feeling will be in the city?
I don't know.
yeah, you're gone. And the reason I guess I kind of am asking that is because there was some serious uncertainty, basically mere days before the season started, with Byfuglien retiring, Patrick Laine, where was the contract situation with these RFAs and all these guys, and Byfuglien aside, and I think a 2-2 start has kind of helped make that kind of a non-story. I got to think the Jets fans are really back into this again and really thinking, okay, we can contend, because 2 weeks before the season, I would have been thinking, oh boy.
Yeah, no, you're bang on. The only question I got about the team was when I dropped my son off in his grade 3 class this morning, and everybody was more excited that I talked to Sidney Crosby yesterday than what's going on with the Jets.
Fair enough.
For the home opener here tomorrow night against Minnesota. But to be honest with you guys, I think there is an intrigue just based on the fact that the Jets play 5 of their first 6 games on the road. Like, we'll head into Chicago here on Saturday, and then we're back here against Pittsburgh on Sunday before a couple of other games, and then coming down to Regina for the Tim Hortons Heritage Classic. So based on the fact that Winnipeg plays a Central Division club for the first time tomorrow night in Minnesota, and for the most part, you talk to people around the league, I don't know if the expectations are that high for the Wild. So coming into this one tomorrow, you would think that there should be a pretty good buzz just based on the fact, for what we talked about earlier on, that the team was able to go 2-2 to begin the season here on the road and win that game last night, that there should be a considerable, buzz around the building. It's obviously a great place. Rob's been in it a few times. I know, Roddy, you were in once and had a chance to see what inside that facility is all about in the regular season. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great just based on the fact that we've seen 4 other crowds already, and you kind of want to get reaccustomed to what it's like when you have people in the building that are cheering for you and not against you.
I guess you have been gone, so you haven't seen the analysis on TSN and Sportsnet. Maybe you don't watch it even when you're home, but I'm wondering if the Jets' blue line's rallying around the fact that they're just getting hammered on by everybody. And last night at the Pats game in the scouts room before the game, where I love going to get the buzz, they say it's the worst blue line in the NHL. Worst blue line in the NHL. Is that something that they would rally behind? And a football team would, but I don't know if hockey players see it the same way.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say they're the worst. I would say they're the least experienced right now. And if everything goes according to plan, Dmitry Kulikov is hopefully going to be back in the lineup. He and his wife welcomed their second child a couple of days ago, a young baby girl into the world. So it was great for Dmitry to be able to be home for that. He is expected to play tomorrow night, and hopefully Josh Morrissey's back in the lineup as well if everything goes according to plan for him with his upper body injury. So that would alleviate a bit of pressure with those young guys, and obviously it would kind of be the defense core that they had to start the season, whether it was New York or the Devils game. They were okay in their own end in that regard. And I guess the way I look at it right now is everybody knows that Trouba, Myers, and Sherrod are gone in the offseason. Then the uncertainty right now with Dustin Byfuglien, at some point, these younger players have to get an opportunity to get in to see what they're all about. So it might be pushing the program a little bit ahead of schedule right now, but the one story I will say, and for Rob Vanstone, who's a very big Jet fan, getting a chance to see Ville Heinola alive is worth the price of admission in itself right now. He has blown the doors off everybody expectation-wise coming into this training camp, and it's been a really treat to be able to watch him at 18 years old. You think about what he has done so far through 4 games. He has 3 years of eligibility to play in the Western Hockey League yet. And you watch what he's doing at the NHL level right now, so young. I understand what everybody's talking about as to how young this D-core is, and they are, but I don't know if I'd quite go as the worst yet, just because they are kind of learning on the fly here at the same time under Charlie Huddy.
Well, and that's for sure, Munzy. The Jets under Kevin Cheveldayoff particularly have drafted so well. And obviously that's why you've been where you have been for the last several years. Well, my best to you and yours, Jack and Lindsay, Munzy, and I will see you in a couple weeks at the Heritage Classic.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We were talking about it on the plane flying home from Pittsburgh yesterday, just some of the logistics on what's coming up, because obviously I've got a bunch of people to see, and you mentioned the general manager from the province, and I know Adam Lowry's excited to come back, the former Swift Current Broncos. So we've got a few guys with some ties. Josh Morrissey played in PA, obviously, so there's a lot of guys that are really looking forward to getting in for a couple of days and one night and have fun time at Mosaic Stadium.
Well, there's a lot of talk about around here now. We'll see you soon, Munzy. Have a great day.
You bet. See you guys. Take care, Rob.
You too, Brian. Take care.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.